Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 25,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/thebarn. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/thebarn.
Hello, I'm Jason Lowry.
And I am the brother of Tom, Mike, and Dave Toti.
Who is Mark Toti?
Oh, yeah. My name's Mark.
And this is the Parkland Podcast.
It's the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. It's the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. They got plenty to say. They got plenty of heart. On the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. It's the Parkland Podcast. Yeah, the Parkland Podcast. It's the Parkland Podcast. Yeah, the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. Jason and Mark.
One of these days, I'm going to get your phone, and I'm going to get all those pictures that you have alertly been taking of all of our guests, and just have those pan across while that song plays.
That would be awesome. We need to pay credit and give thanks to everybody that's made it here for the past, almost 6 months now.
Yeah. I was talking to Chastity with Save-A-Lot.
Hi, Chaz.
Episode 23 was our last one. This is episode 24. And she paid a really good compliment to us. She said, "Oh my gosh, that you've only done that many episodes? It feels like you've been on forever."
Thank you.
So I took it as a compliment, right?
Yeah. Maybe we'll have Chaz back on with her new job that we'll be talking about.
Very, very cool. Hey, we have some great guests coming in for episode 24. We're going to preview next week's big event, the Help the Hungry Bake Sale with Chris Landrum. We're going to talk to Don Fuemmeler. This is the 25th presentation of the Nutcracker in the Parkland this year.
Talked to some kids this week that are going to be a part of the Nutcracker. They're so excited.
Yeah, so Dawn's going to give us the skinny on that. We're also going to interview some members of the Farmington High School production of Midsummer Night's Dream. That's going to be exciting. Stacy Easter, Hills Mayor, will join us during our news segment. Plus, Farmington soccer on the verge of going to the Final Four with a victory, and we still have some local teams left in our high school football playoffs. Plenty of news, sports, events, so much more coming up here now on episode 24 of the Parkland Podcast. And big thank you to our sponsors, Parkland Pharmacy,
yes.
Discover Farmington, Save-A-Lot of the Parklands, Subway of the Parkland, Heim Burger Construction, Booze and Bark Carpet, and Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center. Mark Toti, what'd you do this week?
Started the week off great. Went to the Veterans Day ceremony Monday at the St. Francis County Courthouse. We'll have some highlights of that coming up on the podcast. Had a men's club meeting Thursday night at my church, and my good friend Steve Thomas, his wife Debbie Thomas, makes the best ham and beans that you will ever want to eat. They were fabulous. We had ham and beans, cornbread. I brought some tater tots, which go great with ham and beans, by the way. And we had some wonderful homemade desserts. It was really, really good. Then I went out and saw our good buddy Chris at Spokes Pub and Grill and had a nice dinner of pork chops to wrap up the week.
Man,
Great
you
pork
eat so
chops.
well.
Well, I eat a lot. And I went to
eat
Subway
well.
of Farmington.
Yeah.
Brianna, Jessica, Heather, girls, you're awesome. Always so great to see you.
Very, very cool. This was a weird week, I guess, for me. The wife and I have switched roles. I was like super busy during football season with Parkland Sports Live, the podcast.
Now
and
she's got plays.
And now she's in full-on play season, so we have flopped. Basketball started for the family. Both Jonas and James are playing, and we'll have complete details on the St. Joe Hornets coming up in sports as they had their season opener Thursday night.
Now, if you really want to flip roles with your wife, she should be sitting here next time saying, I'm Mark Toti, and I'm Kayla Lowry, and this is the Parkland Podcast.
That would be interesting.
I don't think she'd do it.
She
might.
She was Big Mama Diamond when she did the overnight shifts on B104 back in the day.
Big Mama Diamond.
Big Mama Diamond.
That sounds like somebody who worked in the saloon in the Old West.
I think that's what she's going for.
Let's go back to Big Mama Diamond's place and grab ourselves a whiskey.
Got any music trivia for us?
Yeah, it ties into my song of the day, which is coming up. Bruce Springsteen only had one number one hit in his career. What was it?
Born in the USA.
Nah.
Okay.
It was, and in fact, the real trivia part of this is it wasn't even his version of the song that went to number one. Manfred Mann covered Blinded by the Light, took it to number one back in the mid-1970s. Bruce Springsteen's only number one single.
Wow.
I would have thought Born in the USA would have been.
Right, yeah.
Or Born to Run, or any one of 1,000 Bruce Springsteen songs. One of probably my favorite American rock and roll guy.
Dancing in the Dark. I think I've seen that video probably 60,000 times.
Okay, who's the gal?
That was Courtney Cox, right?
Cox
from Friends?
Pre-Friends.
Yeah. Pre-Friends, yeah, very pre-Friends.
Yeah, that was like in the mid-'80s.
Yeah.
That came out. But Bruce Springsteen, the boss, one of my big regrets is never getting the chance to see him in concert.
Well, he's still touring though, right?
He's still, but not like he used to. He's in his 70s now.
Right. Well, and from what I understand, his shows were very long and very just off the cuff. Hey, we're going to play this song now, you know?
I think his concerts would be like a concert I saw about 25, 30 years ago, Blues Traveler.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Yes Again.
No. Well, third time's a charm.
Yeah, but Blues Traveler, oh boy.
Great concert. They never stopped playing the music. They just segued from one song into the next. It was like a roller coaster of music. Love Blues Travelers. Great concert if you ever get to see them.
All right, so time now for a totally awesome radio story. And we were kind of getting down to the bottom of the barrel until we came up with the idea of spotlighting the amazing coworkers we have had over the years. I mean, radio brings out some interesting characters, to say the least. And I think we should start with our friend Scott Kabbalah.
Well, we could do the rest of this year and the first 6 months of next year with Scott Kabbalah's stories. But I'll limit it to one.
Okay.
I'll limit it to one and to find, maybe two.
Okay.
Probably his most famous story was he went to the Reynolds County Fair, I believe it was, and the station vehicle broke down. So Scott thought it would be a good idea. He was in the middle of nowhere, and he was like the Mark Twain National Forest. And he thought it would be a good idea to track through the Mark Twain National Forest to find a payphone. Now, I'm not the world's smartest guy, but I'm pretty sure there aren't too many payphones in the Mark Twain National Forest. This was pre-cell phone days, folks.
Of course.
And Kevin Brooks and Jeff Fisher, the program director at the time, had to go pick him up. Jeff and I were playing basketball at the time, and he called Kevin, and they talked, and the whole way down there it was, I'm going to kill him. No, you're not. I'm going to kill him. No, I'm going to kill him. So Scott was a character. And the other one was Jeff the program director at the time, and his wife went down to St. Genevieve for jour de fête, came back, had some wine that they bought down there. They put it in the ice box of the station,
Oh, no.
The radio station, and they left and went home and came back to get it a couple of hours later. And I was there, and Jeff goes, "Hey, where's that wine I put back here?" And then you can hear Scott Kabbalah in the back of the room going, "Oh, was that yours?" So there you go. We know where the wine went. Kabbalah!
Oh, Kabbalah. He was Butthead before Butthead was Butthead.
He was that. You should go to Facebook, take a look at a picture of Scott now, and then try to find a picture of Scott from 1984 when he first started at the radio station. You would not put the two together. Great
Right.
guy, though. Great
Absolutely. We love you, Scott, and
Yeah.
hope things are going well with your big online radio adventure too. I know, his cartoon characters he posts of himself, they look pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a great musician. He
Yeah.
knows how to play the guitar. He can sing a little bit, and he sells cars.
Yeah, he
Does
does.
a little bit of everything.
He does a little bit, and most everybody does. So yeah, that's going to be the new theme now. So
Coworkers.
yeah, great coworkers we've had, and that is truly a Toti-ly awesome radio story. Save a Lot is the place to go on Thanksgiving as you get ready for your big Thanksgiving meal. They have the turkeys, they have the hams, they have the potatoes, they have the yams. It's starting to turn into a big old rap song, and I'm getting so hungry thinking about it.
I'm so hungry right now just thinking about Save a Lot. And I want to give you a little suggestion here. If you want more savings on your shopping trip to Save a Lot, download the new Save a Lot Rewards app.
Ooh.
You will be very happy you did, and you will save even more. And then when you're in the store, shop the dot at Save a Lot. Look for the red dots throughout the store for extra special savings. Clint is always doing something to make your shopping experience even better.
When you go to the Toti family Thanksgiving meals, what are you bringing?
Well, I told them I would cook, but if I cook, you got to eat it. And they said, well, no, you can just bring a bottle of soda and some rolls. So that's going to be me.
And they're both available at your
Save a
local
Lot.
Save-A-Lot store. So check them out. Save-A-Lot of the Parkland, your official grocery store of Thanksgiving. Heimberger Construction has the beautiful website, heimbergerconstruction.com. There you can see the beautiful work they've done around the Parkland, or just kind of look around when you're driving around. And Mark, that's all because of the great support they get from Butler Buildings.
Yeah, Butler Buildings, they are the best metal building system on the market. The only buildings that have a pre-punched roof system and standard 360-degree roof seam for their standing seam roof. And you've got Jennifer Heimberger. When you deal with Heimberger Construction, she is one of the most on-the-ball people I have ever met, and she really wants to do the job, and she wants to do it well. She wants to do it right, and she wants to give you the best bang for your buck. So if you're adding on, if you're expanding, if you're relocating, and you need a new building, I totally recommend Heimberger Construction.
HeimbergerConstruction.com, your home of Butler Buildings in the Parkland and in this region. They've done work locally. They've done work nationally. Check them all out. HeimbergerConstruction.com. Here's your news on the Parkland podcast.
The week started off with a very nice Veterans Day ceremony at the St. Francis County Courthouse. The Farmington Knights Marching Band played a number of patriotic tunes. There were several speakers, including retired Lieutenant Colonel Marine Bob Fauser, who spoke at the ceremony, and we have some of the highlights from his presentation.
In other news this week, a former local band director is facing charges of child molestation. Shane Vergis was indicted by a grand jury earlier this month on 1 count of child molestation in the first degree and 4 counts of attempted child molestation. According to CaseNet, the charges were from the mid-1990s when Vergis was the middle school band instructor at the North County School District. Vergis also taught at Valley Catholic and assisted at other schools and programs over the past 30 years. And it looks like an official call for Deloge Mayor Pete Pasternak will be part of the agenda at Monday night's Board of Aldermen meeting. A resolution to impeach him from office and an action item to set a date for an impeachment hearing are included in the agenda. The city will also look at an employee retention plan. Pasternak's term expires in April of next year.
And the Longhouse in Farmington is receiving yet another historic distinction. Representatives from the National Park Service were on hand this past Thursday to certify the building as a historic site on the Trail of Tears National Historic Trail. The house, located in Long Park on St. Genevieve Avenue, was built in 1833. It's the oldest home in Farmington. During the late 1830s, more than 16,000 Cherokee people were forcibly moved from their homes in the southern Appalachian Mountains to stockades and internment camps, after which they walked hundreds of miles to Indian Territory in present-day Oklahoma. The Longhouse will also be open for Christmas tours November 30th from 1 to 4 and December 6th from 5 until 8 p.m. Tours are being offered by members of the GFCW Monday Club of Farmington.
And now let's get some Park Hills news from Park Hills Mayor Stacy Easter. Let's find out the latest in the city of Park Hills. And to gather that information, we bring in the mayor of Park Hills, Stacy
Straight to
Easter.
the top.
That's
Straight
right.
to the top with
Absolutely.
this one.
She is awesome enough to join us here on the Parkland podcast. And now you're in a rare group of people that have been on the show now twice. So
wow.
congratulations.
That is a huge honor. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, you've got big news to tell us about, breaking news from the city of Park Hills.
Yes. So I guess this is actually the first formal announcement of this. We haven't even made a press release or anything. So we're really excited to say that we finally have a business coming into the glass factory, the old glass factory there on Taylor Avenue. It's called Reworld. They are a company that specializes in recycling. So pretty excited about that. I know Zach Franklin, our city administrator, has worked behind the scenes on trying to get someone in there, and he has specifically spent well over a year working and trying to finalize this deal with Reworld and Phoenix Investments, and he's done a great job. So if he didn't have the knowledge that he has with economic development and just the drive that he has, I don't think this would have taken place, especially so fast. So we are proud to announce that we'll have 20 jobs approximately coming, and the best thing about this is with an average of $80,000 a year.
Wow.
For these jobs. So that is just phenomenal for our area.
And I guess they'll be in, with the new part of the glass factory that
Yes.
was built near the railroad tracks?
Yes, that is correct. So this facility will be, I think it's going to be sublet to maybe 3 different companies. And the first one obviously being Reworld. So they'll take over the new part that was recently built. And I know that Zach is in talks with Phoenix Investments, which owns the building. So I think they're talking with a couple other companies that will be subleasing the other portion of that, but we don't have anything to announce with that yet.
What's the timeline as far as them opening up?
So I think they said about 1.5 years is kind of where they're at. I was looking timeline approximately 1.5 years of planning and development. So that's kind of where they're at right now.
Also want to talk about lead findings. This is something that people have received letters about in a lot of different communities in the water lines. And City of Park Hills has been pretty proactive in preparing for this.
Yes, I would say so. We have a phenomenal team in our utilities department. And over the past, I want to say at least 2 years, they have been looking through all of our lines and finding out which households have the lead in their lines. And I know DNR came down with us and told us that we had to find those out and send the report back to them and then notify our customers by a deadline. So we have completed all of that. We've notified all of the customers that have the lead lines. So if you didn't get a letter from Park Hills, don't worry, you don't have lead in your lines. But when I say you have lead lines, that isn't necessarily something to be alarmed about because all of our tests come back good. We're not failing in any area. So the water is safe to drink. We're not alarmed. DNR is not alarmed at this time. They just asked that we replace them. So we'll be putting a plan in place with that. And again, thankful for our council, again, city administrator, utilities department. We've all been working very hard over the last, I want to say, 2 years. We started with having some water and wastewater engineering reports done. We finally got those both completed. And now we have moved on to the stage where we have to find the solution to fix all these problems. And I don't know what that looks like because both reports combined came back with a price tag of $100 million. Obviously, Park Hills does not have $100 million. So we're looking at that. We had a meeting this past Thursday, again, our utilities committee meeting, to discuss, how we can fix that and what it would look like. And we think we got it narrowed down. And then, of course, grants are going to be like our biggest asset that we have moving forward to fix all these issues. But we're desperately working on a plan that would be suitable and affordable for everyone.
So, Stacy, we're going to have you and Zach Franklin come in 2025 as we get a new year underway. But before we let you go, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in Park Hills.
Yes. So as you all have noticed, we've shut down Columbia Park. So our workers can put up all of our lovely Christmas lights that everyone enjoys free of charge.
Yes, I love that. That is such a great thing to do for residents of the city. Of course, the Hefner Furniture Park Hills Ludington Chamber of Commerce Christmas Parade will be on Thursday, December 5th, and that kind of opens up the park right after that, and people can just drive in every night, right?
Yes, it's free of charge. There's no, unless, sometimes I think we have to shut it down if we have technical difficulties, obviously, for the rain, but other than that, it is open every single night.
Stacy, we appreciate you coming in. As always, you're a wealth of information, and we look forward to having you in 2025.
Okay, thank you all so much. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yeah,
all right.
and Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
All that
absolutely.
good stuff.
Yeah, don't forget that.
We jumped.
Stacy Easter, Mayor of Park Hills, joining us here now on the news on the Parkland Podcast. I can hear Mark Toti-ly's stomach growling. We have been recording a lot of podcasting today, and he's ready to eat, and I know that he's excited to go to the Farmington subway location.
I tell you what, the girls have got me talked into trying the pizza this coming week, because I'm going to go get a pizza. I've got some soup that Subway has waiting for me as soon as we are done recording this podcast. I am so excited about that. The broccoli cheddar soup is fantastic. The sandwiches are great. I want to give a shout out to Jake and Mike as well, because I know they wanted us to remind you that this is the season for Christmas parties.
Ooh.
And who better to cater your Christmas party than Subway of the Parkland? The sandwiches, the cookies, the chips, the drinks. They've got it all there. They're ready to cater your shindig.
Yes, they are. They do a great job with that, and that's something a little different because we kind of get in that holiday mode where we have this and this and this, and with all the different options, the big sandwiches they have, and as you mentioned, those cookies.
Yeah.
Subway can take care of you and your holiday party. Subways of the Parkland, located in the Maple Valley Center, Farmington, in downtown Park Hills, and inside the Deloge Walmart. Subway, eat fresh. Want to talk about Booz & Bark Flooring and Granite. They have been family owned and operated since 1941. As long as I can remember, Booz & Bark Carpet has been in our area. And Mark, if you were to survey, I guess, all the homes in St. Francis County, I would say a majority of them have something in them from Booz & Barks.
Let's send a shout out to Gary and to Todd and Chad and all the folks at Booz & Bark for being a part of the podcast. Boy, if you like selection, if you like options, if you're not sure what you want in terms of flooring, whether it be hardwood or carpeting or vinyl, these are the folks to see. And where are you located at? It doesn't matter. If you can see this podcast, you're pretty much in Booz & Bark country.
And if you live outside of Booz & Bark Carpet or Booz & Bark country, you can go to boozandbarkflooring.com and it can be shipped to you no matter where you are. That's how good they do. BoozeandBarkFlooring.com has a great deal right now. You can save up to 50% off the top colors of in-stock Core Tech flooring. Of course, Booze and Bark does countertops, trailers, and so much more.
Yeah, there's a lot to choose from, like we said, at Booze and Bark, and they're very involved in the community as well. Great to be partnering up with you on the podcast.
There's a reason why Booze and Bark has so many employees of over 10, 20, 30 years. They have that spacious showroom on Highway 67 at the Fairgrounds exit. And, of course, they take great care of their customers. 431-4100, Booze and Bark, Flooring and Granite, proud sponsor of the Parkland podcast. Let's check the events page. That is brought to you by Discover Farmington, more than you ever imagined. DiscoverFarmingtonMo.gov allows you to find out about entertainment, dining, outdoor activities, wineries, and more, and all the wonderful holiday events they have planned for you. Events brought to you by Discover Farmington.
Farmington, Missouri, your destination for a perfect weekend getaway. Dine in at one of our quality restaurants or visit one of our surrounding wineries. Farmington offers a variety of parks and other recreational leisure time activities. See some sights, have some fun, and go wherever your heart takes you. Sounds like a lot of fun, so get a room and stay a while. All this and more awaits you just 60 miles south of St. Louis. Discover Farmington today.
Couple of things to announce right away. First of all, Mom's Cafe has a free meal coming up Wednesday at the Methodist Church in Farmington, and something that we're spotlighting quite a bit on this week's podcast, the Help the Hungry Bake Sale. Kicks off at 9 o'clock, actually 8 o'clock with breakfast and 9 o'clock for all the fun at the St. Joseph Catholic School Gym in Farmington.
The Turkey Trot, 1 mile gobble wobble, happening Thanksgiving morning at the Farmington Public Library.
Angels Among Us Benefit Softball Tournament, Saturday the 30th at the Park Hill Sports Complex. Find out more by calling Missy Bernia at 631-9111.
Farmington Downtown Carriage Rides start every Saturday through Christmas, beginning on Saturday, November 30th from noon until 4.
Come celebrate the start of the holiday season in historic downtown Farmington.
Lots of events, including a Christmas Carol sing-along, a Santa beard contest, and so much more, leading up to an evening with a traditional Christmas tree lighting, free hot cocoa, a variety of Christmas photo ops, and this event is happening again on November 30th in downtown Farmington.
We have some Christmas parades coming up. The Bonne Terre Chamber of Commerce Christmas Parade is Monday, December 2nd.
Hefner Furniture, Park Hills Leadington Chamber of Commerce Christmas Parade, Thursday, December 5th.
Kreckler Jewelers Farmington Christmas Parade is Friday the 6th.
And at the end of the parade, Santa and Mrs. Claus will open up Winter Wonderland, and that'll be open weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m., Saturdays from 1 until 3, with the final day being December 23rd.
Also want to let you know about Breakfast with Santa at Winter Wonderland, December 14th and 21st. You can register online or at the Farmington Civic Center.
And 2 more events to tell you about. Christmas in the Park, happening in Deloge Park on Saturday, December 7th. Also on that day, a live ice carver and reindeer will be in downtown on Saturday, December 7th from noon until 2. Those events and many others happening around the area, and they're brought to you by Discover Farmington. Find out about local events, even book a wedding or day trip today, and it's all online, DiscoverFarmingtonMo.gov. Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center is one of the largest employers in the area. And Mark, we say this all the time, but I know it's true. There's a really good chance you know someone who works there.
Absolutely. And I know they're always hiring for different positions. You definitely, if you're looking for a career in the medical field, I think that the Mental Health Center would be a great place to go. They are also one of the largest employers in our area. Literally hundreds of people work in some capacity for the SEMO Mental Health Center, and they do a lot of nice things to give back to the community. They're involved in a lot of different areas. Just ask Mr. Capias. He'll be glad to fill you in on all the great things that they have done to promote this area.
And they've been around in Farmington since 1903. They have had such a long history. And you can find out about these jobs, so many. And I mean, just any kind of job position.
And the
is
benefits.
open. And the benefits are amazing. And you can call 573-218-6800 or go to dmh.mo.gov. The state of Missouri is an equal opportunity employer. We celebrate diversity and are committed to creating an inclusive environment for all employees. Birthday time. Your birthdays this week are brought to you by Save a Lot. Thanksgiving is here. You need to create a Thanksgiving menu. Save a Lot has everything you need. Check them out today, Save a Lots of the Parkland. Who you got celebrating a birthday on Monday, November 18th?
Monday, our good friend and good friend of the podcast, Mandy Farrell, celebrating a birthday on Monday. Miss Mandy, happy birthday to you from your hubby and your son, Connor, and all your friends at Canyon. We hope you have a fantastic day. She does a lot of great work with the Kiwanis Club.
Cool,
others.
yeah.
Chris Jordan celebrating a birthday on Monday. Chris, happy birthday to you. Hope you are doing fantastic. I saw him at the Big Cystic Fibrosis pub crawl a couple of weeks ago. He and his wife are a big part of that. And Carrie Thurman celebrating a birthday on Monday. Happy birthday to you, Carrie, from Kevin and all the kids and all your family. She used to be, I used to call her the queen of the Stairmaster.
Yeah.
Worked out at the Civic Center, and she was on that thing forever.
I just missed working with her at the Unitech Career Center, but I felt like I kind of worked with her just because everybody talked about her so much.
She's
in a good way.
Awesome gal. She deserves special credit points for putting up with Kevin. And Kevin would be the first to tell you that's true.
Happy birthday on Monday to Mr. Randy Hubbard, a true Bonne Terre legend. Happy birthday to you, North County School Board, and enjoying grandkids now, and maybe relaxing a little more, Randy. I think you should maybe do that. And hope it's a great birthday for you, buddy. And Elena Horn with a birthday on Monday as well. Happy birthday, Elena. Hope you have a great day. I have no birthdays for Tuesday, November 19th. What do you have?
I have two really good ones for
you.
Jill Fletcher, who used to work at J98 Radio and left there and went to become a school teacher at the Central School District. And now I believe she's working at First State Community Bank. Jill, happy birthday to you from Kevin, the kids, and the grandkids. And Lindsay Pratt celebrating a birthday. She is married to my buddy, Zach Pratt. And boy, how you put up with that guy. I know, I'm just kidding. Zach's a good dude. Lindsay also works for Heimberger Construction.
Hey.
So I'm sure Jenny wants to wish you a happy birthday, as we all do. So,
yeah.
Lindsay, happy birthday wishes to you.
All right, let's move on to Wednesday, November the 20th.
David Miller celebrating a birthday, Miller's Feed.
Okay.
There in Farmington, right off of Karsh Boulevard. David, happy birthday wishes to you. Dawn Phillips, before she got married and had a couple boys, her name was Dawn Williams, and she was a member of the Fredericktown girls basketball team that went to the Final Four back, I won't say how many years ago because that might be
late 80s, right?
Late 80s.
Yeah.
But she hit a big three-point shot in that game. And every time I see her, I say, there's the girl that hit the shot that sent Fredericktown to the Final Four. So happy birthday wishes to you. And Vanessa Trokey. She is a lean, mean real estate selling machine, and she is just an awesome human being. Happy birthday from your husband Donnie, from your two girls. Gracie Trokey is her daughter that I know really, really, really well, and she is just a sweetheart, but so is Vanessa.
Absolutely. Big supporter of local causes over the years, too.
Yes, they are.
Absolutely. No doubt about that. Happy birthday on Wednesday to one of my favorite students. He's a sophomore, and he does good stuff for me in BKTV. Mr. Chris Cooper. Happy birthday to the Coop. Dale Stotler of the Vulgar Display of Podcast.
Yeah, I thought that's what we were.
Well, in some people's minds, but Dale does a great job with that podcast. He and Chad, and they get like some big time heavy metal people. So if you're into heavy metal music, check out Vulgar Display of Podcast, and wish our friend Dale Stotler a happy birthday on Wednesday. And Nathan McDowell, owner of McDowell Electric on Old Bonterre Road. Nathan with the birthday on Wednesday. Happy birthday to you, buddy. What about Thursday, November 21st?
Just one real birthday to pass along for me, and that's Cameron Davis. I just saw him this past week at the Civic Center. Cameron, happy birthday to you. That's from your mom and your dad and all your family.
I want to wish a happy birthday to Amy Washam
Yeah.
on Thursday. Amy, hope it's a great birthday for you. She's always super busy. The girls are playing basketball all the time. Her husband is
Yeah,
principal and
who's
coaching.
the better athlete?
Well,
Amy or Dustin?
I thought you were going to ask me to pick between Basil and Evelyn. I'm like, man, come on. Boy, I don't know. That's a great question.
I tell you what, when she was still in high school, she was coming to the Farmington Civic Center to work out. And I told her, and she walked in one day and I said, now, Amy, you can work out here with me if you want. But if you start looking over me and smiling and laughing and calling me a girly boy, you got to go. She goes, I'll try.
Okay.
Not I won't. I'll try.
I'll try. Happy birthday, Amy. Hope it's a great day for you. And Harold Weber with a birthday on Thursday. Happy birthday, buddy. Hope it's a great day for you. How about Friday, November 22nd?
Friday birthdays. One of your co-workers,
Oh.
or at least, unless he retired, I don't know. Jerry Will. Happy birthday wishes to you.
I believe
That's
he
from-
retired.
He did?
I think so. Or
He was over at the kindergarten center.
okay. Well, then, yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't know all the kindergarten
By
people.
profession, he's your co-worker.
Yes, that's true.
Anyway, Jerry, we'll see him at he's at the Help the Hungry bake sale.
All right.
Every year, he and his wife, his daughter was one of my Vanna Whites during the live auction for several years before she graduated and moved off to college. So happy birthday to you. And my good buddy and just all-around good guy, Tony Friend, celebrating
good
a birthday Friday. He works for Anheuser-Busch.
Oh, he's a real good friend.
Oh, yeah. Back in the day when I would have a few libations,
Right.
if I would see him at Jour de Fête or any of the other fairs and festivals and he was there, he would always spot me a cold one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Tony, happy birthday wishes to you, my friend. I hope you're having a great day.
Every employee of Anheuser-Busch got a beer allowance every month. Like they would give you beers because
I should work there.
I know, right?
Forget this podcasting thing.
Yes. InBev, here we come. Because Brandon Geiler's wife, Julia, still works for InBev.
Yeah.
And Geiler would always give me like a 12-pack of some kind of Anheuser-Busch product for my birthday. I'd be like, oh, Geiler, you don't have to do that. I'm sorry, I didn't get you anything for your birthday. He goes, oh, don't worry about it. It's free.
Yeah. Thanks, Brandon. Very
Yeah.
thoughtful of you.
And then let's see, Friday, November 22nd, that's where we're at. I got thinking about beer. Whitney Busenbark with a birthday on Friday. Happy birthday, Whitney. Hope it's a great day for you.
She's great at fundraisers. She
Oh, yeah.
has fun and she buys everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Saturday, November 23rd.
Happy birthday wishes going out to Julie Krause, married to Mark Krause.
Hey.
Happy birthday to you, young
It's her
lady.
birthday every day.
It should be. Well, it should be Mark's birthday.
Well,
every
yeah,
day 'cause
yeah.
he's
No, that's
married
more
to
accurate.
Julie. Happy birthday wishes to you. And my good buddy Greg Cole celebrates a birthday today. He and his wife Christy are the owners of Cole's Tractor and Equipment. Happy birthday to you from your kids and all your family.
Christina Raridan celebrating a birthday on Saturday. Hope it's a great birthday for you and all your kids. That's also from your husband, from all your horses. Hope you have a great birthday on Saturday. What about Sunday, November 24th?
Sunday birthdays. Julie Kleppe celebrates a birthday today. Julie, happy birthday to you. That's from your husband, Corey, and your kids. Julie really was a big part of the organization of the Run Walk with Walker fundraisers that were held for about 8 or 9 years. back in the day. Julie, happy birthday wishes to you. And David Louds celebrates a birthday. Ozark Steel. He was also a big part of the St. Francis County Fair.
Many years.
And one year they were going to have a cow milking contest, and they said, will you be a part of it? And David brought in a bull. He says, here, milk this. I said, David, I may not be a country boy, but I know the difference between what you grab on with a bull and with a cow.
Thank goodness.
So that's not going to happen. But he reminds me about that every time I see him. So, David,
man.
happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, David. Hope it's a great day for you. Those are our birthdays, anniversaries for the week of November 18th, sponsored by Save-A-Lot. Get there now. Get that Thanksgiving feast all taken care of. Get that turkey. Get that ham. You know it's going to be delicious, and it's available at your local Save-A-Lot. The Farmington Knights soccer team saw their dream season come to a close Saturday. The district champs were shut out 3-0 by the Griffins of Vianney, ending their shot at a bid to the Class 3 Final Four. The Knights finished the season at 14-7 with a stingy 0.9 goals against average. The St. Joseph Catholic School boys A team started their season Thursday. They hosted Bellevue and came away with a 51-23 victory. Jonas Lowry led all scorers with 13 points. The Hornets A team will host the Farmington Knights 7th grade B team on Monday, December 2nd. Turning to Mineral Area College basketball, the MAC men split their 2 games this week. The Cards fell to Pratt Community College Friday night 82-76 and defeated Link Year Prep 96-78. MAC will have 2 home games this week. Wednesday they host John A. Logan, and Saturday Wabash Valley College. MAC women went 2-1 this week, defeating Vincennes on Veterans Day 80-57. They then split their games in the Pearl River Classic, losing to the host team 68-56 and beating Mississippi Gulf Coast 58-44. The ladies will also face John A. Logan at home this Wednesday, then play 2 games in the Southwest Illinois Central Classic, playing Rend Lake on Friday and Southwestern Illinois on Saturday. Let's check your football scores now from Week 13.
Let's start in Class 1 where Crystal City got a thrilling 36-34 win over Charleston.
Business as usual in Class 2 for the Valley Catholic Warriors. Big Blue rolls past Caruthersville 63-21.
Turning to Class 3, St. Genevieve sees their season come to an end as they were defeated by Dexter 28-13.
And the Festus Tigers end the Perryville Pirates season. This score a little surprising. Festus wins 43-0 over Perryville.
And one Class 5 game saw Cardinal Ritter run past Cape Central by a score of 56-14.
So coming up next week in high school football, it'll be Crystal City at St. Vincent in Class 1. Valley Catholic goes to Bowling Green in Class 2. Class 3, Dexter at Lift for Life. Class 4, Festus at Gateway Tech. And in Class 5, Cardinal Ritter will go to Lafayette. And that's your sports on the Parkland Podcast.
Parkland Pharmacy is out to prove that local independent pharmacy is alive and well. We work hard at giving you an excellent experience every time you come to see us. We love what we do, and we would love to take care of you. There's no need to be frustrated with your health care. If you're tired of what your pharmacy is not doing for you, then stop waiting in line and come see us today. We have 6 locations across Southeast Missouri, so Google us to find the store nearest you or visit parklandrx.com. Parkland Pharmacy is a local pharmacy at its finest.
They said it couldn't be done. They said the world would never accept a cookie this long, or pretzel, and probably not a churro. They also said under no circumstances should those really long and delicious treats be wildly affordable. Then we said, but we already made them, and they are. Introducing the incredible new foot-long sidekicks. Get one at Subway today.
Let's talk Help the Hungry Bake Sale now on the Parkland Podcast. It is here, and that's going to be where our next podcast takes place. So to preview that big event and get everybody hungry and ready, we have brought in Chris Landrum from Help the Hungry Bake Sale. Thanks for joining us. You are a now 2-time guest of the podcast.
Yay. How many times has the one person been on the most?
Well, it's right now you're tied for first.
Yeah.
Yay.
Tied with
Yay.
Stacy Easter, Mayor of Park Hills, Kevin Engler, clerk. Joe Gilgore has done 2. Who else?
I think Joe's only done 1.
Well, he did one in person, and then you interviewed him.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
After a MAC event. So I guess he's really technically like 1.5.
1.5.
You're in
Yeah.
elite company.
Oh, my
You
gosh.
are.
Yeah.
Kevin
I like
and
it.
Stacy, man, very, very good.
Jason, if you picked this coming weekend as your weekend to start your diet, you've picked the wrong weekend. The Help the Hungry Bake Sale is here. And Chris, this is going to be fun.
Oh, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to it.
Tell us what's going to happen.
Everything. Yay. So there's a lot going on Saturday, November 23rd, starting at 8 a.m.
At St. Joe School Gymnasium. We'll make sure we get that out.
Absolutely. In Farmington. If you like breakfast, we've got homemade biscuits and gravy, egg casserole, homemade cinnamon rolls in our cafe. That starts at 8. You come in anytime. Our doors open at 9 a.m. to the gym. And that is when we have this mass influx of shoppers that are coming to get all those delicious baked goods that they've been waiting for all year.
And you talk about variety. Oh, my gosh.
Well, when people think of bake sale, they think tables down the center of a gym with random baked goods on them. And we don't do that. We have booths. So if you are coming to look for pies, we have a pie booth for you. We have a bread booth, cake booth, cookie booth, healthy options booth.
Chili.
Yeah, carry out chili. We have a candy booth. So we have plenty of tasty treats for people to shop for. Either freeze and save for Thanksgiving or to enjoy right away.
I'm getting hungry just listening.
I know. Now, this event started as basically a fundraising bake sale, and from really not so humble beginnings, because I know the first one you had, things kind of worked out great, but it's grown into such an institution now. Kind of talk about how this started and how it became what it has now become.
Well, it was just something that I had thought about for a long time. I just like to feed people, and I love to bake. And I think God just laid it on my heart in this just fabulous way to have this bake sale to benefit the food pantries in town. And that was 19 years ago. And I started out with this core group of women who had excellent ideas. We put the word out, and the community just responded. I just remember having such trepidation and anxiety that first year. We'd done everything we could, but we had no idea if anybody was going to bring baked goods. Well, my gosh, that Friday night, we were loaded to the gills with baked goods. So then I thought, well, what else can I worry about? And I'm like, well, what if nobody comes on Saturday? But then they did. And so, yes, we made $10,000 that first year, which really back then that was enough for the 2 food pantries. That's what they needed. And here we are 19 years later. And in addition to just doing those baked goods, now we do a lot of other things to raise money.
Is it even possible to guesstimate the number of people that show up at St. Joe on Saturday?
I am just horrible with numbers, and I don't know. You're there. What do you think?
Oh,
I know there's hundreds,
yes.
but
Can we say 1,000 at least?
I don't know. I don't know. Do you think there's that many?
Well,
I'd
because
really
they
be
come
impressed
and
if there
go.
was. Yeah.
And the reason I bring that up is like when we talk about having baked goods out the wazoo, you think of the logistics of having all these hundreds and maybe 1,000 people show up and still having enough desserts for all these people.
Well, and yeah, and that's kind of like a pitfall in a way, because some people think, well, they're so successful, they don't need me. But yes, we do. Yeah. We need every single person, because we need people to bake. We need people to come and shop and buy. So it takes a village.
I want to know about the live auction. You've got a sneak peek at some of the items that folks could be bidding on.
I do. Can I mention a few other things before we get to the live auction? Well, so when we talked about the doors opening at 9 o'clock, in addition to people shopping for baked goods, we have a holiday raffle. that where people can bid on decorated Christmas wreaths and centerpieces. Yesterday, Nancy Weber Garden Club, we all got together and made 8 wreaths for that. That's a really popular event. We have a silent auction with themed baskets, and so there might be a coffee lover's basket or a hunter's special basket, and you can bid on those. And then, of course, the live auction that you're talking about. I got with my sister, and talked to her last night. I'm like, what do you have? So they have a one-night stay, for example, a one-night stay in the tiny houses down at Beachy Farms, yes, in Bloomsdale. And there's a new winery down there that has donated a big wine basket to go with that, the Chateau St. Genevieve.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got a baby quilt, we've got a Cajun shrimp boiled dinner, we've got Cardinal tickets, we've got golfing at the lake, we have Kate Spade backpack and coat, we have beef donated, desserts, of course, a Texas chili dinner, a little party package with Pretty Porch and Little Bloom. Sugar Fires donated some turkey dinners. Christy Herbst a day at the farm with her horses. You just name it. We kind of run the gamut. We try to have something for everybody.
Artwork, all kinds of
Oh,
great
yes,
things.
yes. Colleen Williams is donating some artwork, and we have another painting from another lady whose name escapes me at the moment, but we appreciate you.
And you can bid on a segment on the Parkland
Yes.
podcast,
Yeah,
too.
brand new
Yeah.
to share. Yeah, the
Yes,
Parkland
yeah.
podcast.
Mark and Jason, talk about that for a second.
Come on, talk about whatever you want here in the barn, or heck, we'll even come to your location if you want us to do that. You can do it for your business. You could do it for a cause that you're very passionate
Fraternal
about.
group, yeah.
Or you could get on and talk about bad drivers, whatever you want to do.
And that will lead us, speaking of bad drivers, that takes us up to the cookie auction. I guess I
Okay,
should
connect
say
those dots for me.
that. Well, because some of the people I've seen driving in Farmington, I go, oh, dear God, help
Yes,
us all.
yes.
But the cooking clergy is so much fun.
Well, that wraps up our event for the day. And yes, that really draws in the crowd. I think we're pretty sure we have 9, maybe 10 pastors this year who will be baking cakes for the Cook and Clergy contest. They have been raising money throughout the year with their congregation, and they will come with those cakes in hands to be judged on appearance, on taste. There will be a People's Choice Award, but then the big top prize goes to the cake that can generate the most money at the auction.
Is there a certain church or a certain pastor who has won multiple of these that maybe is very proud of that?
Well, I hate to get into that competition aspect because those pastors are totally competitive.
Oh, yes.
But, Greg Robinson at First Baptist has won quite a few times. When Father Ricky was here with the Catholic Church, he won several times. Rocky Good, you have to give him I don't know, what award would you give him? He has
Spirit Award.
The Spirit Award, yes. He shows up every year with the most unique cake designs.
Okay.
Has Rocky ever won?
Rocky has never won. No.
Never
Oh,
won. But
my.
he just gives it 100%, and I'll tell you what, he is all in, and we just love and appreciate him so much.
I know the kids every grade at St. Joe's is doing some kind of a baked good item, because I know I had to go run and get the Oreos the other day, so they made it in class on time to make the Oreo balls. But what are some ways that people watching or listening can maybe get together and make some kind of a donation to this cause?
Well, that's the great thing about this bake sale, because anybody that wants to help can help, and people find the most unique ways to do that. Mark is involved with Julie Powers and Don Fuemmeler, and they have the Healthier Treat booth.
Oh, they're so good.
And so they have come up with this whole thing where they invite people. Mark, they charge a little bit of money for ingredients, but you guys, get in there and you actually make
Protein balls,
protein
baby.
balls. Yes.
That's
So-
hilarious because you mentioned Dawn Fuemmeler and then she walks in the door right behind you.
There she is.
Yes, yes.
Was your nose itching?
Also, I want you to take a couple of minutes and thank some of the people we don't, like sometimes don't get around to thanking, like St. Joe itself and the kids that help with the setup and the tear down and all that.
Yeah, there are so many people to thank. But yes, St. Joe has given us, they've been so generous to give us their gymnasium and cafeteria all these years. So a big shout out to them. The city of Farmington does a lot of stuff for us in the background, and Greg doesn't ever like to be patted on the back for those things, but we appreciate them. And we do get a lot of volunteers. The ROTC always shows up. The wrestling team, kids from the student council and honor society and key club. The MAC soccer team is coming this year.
Great.
Yeah.
See, that's really important, Jason, because in the first couple of years, the average age of the guys helping with the tear down was probably about 64. And we
Yeah.
don't have backs for that
Yes.
anymore. So
Yes. And then there was one year when there were no volunteers. And we're like, wait, we got to fix this. At the end, everybody, the bake sale's over, and out the door they went. And we're oh, yeah, that's not happening again.
it
But
takes a village, doesn't it?
Oh, my gosh, it takes a village. It
So
takes a village.
19 years. I guess that means next year is the 20th. Are there
Yeah.
big plans to
Yeah,
celebrate that?
we are talking about big plans for the Big 2-0. Yes, sir, we are.
It's one of my favorite events of the year. There's two dates especially that I set up on my calendar in big red letters. That's this one and the St. Paul School auction. I just love being a part of both those.
Well, we love having you be a part. Mark has been our MC. I totally forgot this story about me talking to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, tell them that story.
Yeah, she says, Mark, we want you to be our auctioneer. And I said, I've never auctioneered anything in my life other than like bids for bargains. And she goes, we think you'll do great. I said, well, it's not going to be like your traditional auctioneer. I'm basically going to make fun of people till they buy something. She goes, that's what we want.
It worked.
And it's worked out.
However, shame them, humiliate,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
My job is to get every last penny I can out of that.
Yes. Well, but if I can just say back to,
Oh, I forgot. We
What?
can't leave Tim Morgan out.
well, no, exactly. I was thinking of Tim Morgan. Yes. Tim Morgan has been fabulous. He always sponsors our Offenburg barbecue, and he just works so hard and tirelessly to help us raise money, and that'll be a $12,000, $15,000 event for us, and that helps our bottom line quite a bit.
Now, when Tim's not deer hunting, he comes to help the hungry as well. And it's fun to watch him from the stage because he will bid on, if there's 60 items on the live auction, he'll bid on 35 or 40 of them, if for no other reason, just to jack the price up.
Yeah, or to aggravate somebody.
And then he'll just
sit back there and laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. He's a lot of fun
Yes, he
to
is.
have there. But when we were talking about ways to help, and I talked about Dawn and Julie's event, but we've got somebody that does leather work, and so he's making some things for us this year. We've got farmers that say, I've got grass-fed beef. How about if I bring you some? And we're like, sure. So there was a little girl that really wanted her pastor to win the cake one year. So she had a yard sale and sold her little toys and things for $0.25 a piece. So it doesn't matter if you're 8 or 80. If you want to help, there's a way. So put your thinking caps on. And if you can't think of anything, just show on up. We'd love to see you.
It's going to be fun.
If you prepare an item, when can they drop it off?
Yes, so baked items can be dropped off at First Baptist Church on Friday, the 22nd, between 10 and 4. Or we will be at the gym starting at 4 p.m. on Friday. People can bring their baked goods or their auction items or their baskets or their wreaths. Anything they want to bring to the bake sale can come between 4 and 6 or 6:30 that evening, and then Saturday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Excellent. And then the sale goes how long on Saturday?
Till 1.
Till 1 o'clock.
From 9 a.m. until 1. And if all else fails, if you're a baker and you just don't want to get out that day, or if you want something picked up, if you call Edward Felker at American Family Insurance, he will drive to your house and pick it up for you.
Hey, great. What
Yeah.
a guy.
Oh, we forgot.
Yes.
What final thing? We are raffling off a Blackstone griddle this year. 22-inch hood, legs. Everybody wants a Blackstone, and it's a great way to maybe win a great Christmas gift for somebody. So that will be another thing that we'll be doing.
Great. Help the Hungry Bake Sale happening Saturday, St. Joseph Catholic School Gymnasium in Farmington. Breakfast begins at 8. Auction begins at 9. And if you want to make a donation of an item, you can swing by Friday, First Baptist Church in Farmington during the day. Bring it by St. Joe's that evening. I think Jonas is working the line, so he'll probably bring your pie in. I hope he doesn't drop it.
Or eat it.
Or eat
that's
it.
probably more likely. But all the proceeds helping the food pantries here in Farmington. Chris, thanks so much for having us.
Hey, thanks for having me. I so appreciate it.
All right. Chris Landrum, Help the Hungry Bake Sale, joining us now on the Parkland Podcast. Want to talk about Booz & Bark Flooring and Granite. They have been family owned and operated since 1941. As long as I can remember, Booz & Bark Carpet has been in our area. And Mark, if you were to survey, I guess, all the homes in St. Francis County, I would say a majority of them have something in them from Booz & Barks.
Let's send a shout out to Gary and to Todd and Chad and all the folks at Booz & Bark for being a part of the podcast. Boy, if you like selection, if you like options, if you're not sure what you want in terms of flooring, whether it be hardwood or carpeting or vinyl, these are the folks to see. And where are you located at? It doesn't matter. If you can see this podcast, you're pretty much in Booz & Bark country.
And if you live outside of Booz & Bark Carpet or Booz & Bark country, you can go to boozandbarkflooring.com and it can be shipped to you no matter where you are. That's how good they do. boozandbarkflooring.com has a great deal right now. You can save up to 50% off the top colors of in-stock Core Tech flooring. Of course, Booz & Bark does countertops, trailers, and so much more.
Yeah, there's a lot to choose from, like we said, at Booz & Bark, and they're very involved in the community as well. Great to be partnering up with you on the podcast.
There's a reason why Booz & Bark has so many employees of over 10, 20, 30 years. They have that spacious showroom on Highway 67 at the Fairgrounds exit. And, of course, they take great care of their customers. 431-4100, Booz & Bark Flooring and Granite, proud sponsor of the Parkland Podcast. Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center is one of the largest employers in the area. And, Mark, we say this all the time, but I know it's true. There's a really good chance you know someone who works there.
Absolutely, and I know they're always hiring for different positions. You definitely, if you're looking for a career in the medical field, I think that the Mental Health Center would be a great place to go. They are also one of the largest employers in our area. Literally hundreds of people work in some capacity for the SEMO Mental Health Center, and they do a lot of nice things to give back to the community. They're involved in a lot of different areas. Just ask Mr. Capias. He'll be glad to fill you in on all the great things that they have done to promote this area.
And they've been around in Farmington since 1903. They have had such a long history. And you can find out about these jobs, so many, and I mean just any kind of job position.
And the benefits.
Is open. And the benefits are amazing. And you can call 573-218-6800 or go to dmh.mo.gov. The state of Missouri is an equal opportunity employer. We celebrate diversity and are committed to creating an inclusive environment for all employees. Let's talk about the Nutcracker, the 25th performance in the Parkland of the Young People Performing Arts Center. And joining us here in studio is Dawn Fuemmeler. Dawn has been involved with the Nutcracker almost all the way back to the beginning. You've been an instructor at the facility for a long, long time, and you are Kim's go-to person to do interviews. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
You are welcome. And I have not been in it from the beginning because it started in 1981, and I would have been very young, and I did not live here then, but I have been in it since the early 2000s. So
It's a labor of love for you, though, isn't it?
it is. It really is. I get to be with some of my students and really bond and their families, and it's just a really warm atmosphere to be a part of every year or every other year.
I know I was at one of the very early performances because my Uncle Walter was one of the party guests at the party that always takes place in the first part. And I know it was at the old North County Middle School gymnasium. That or not gymnasium, but the stage. So I believe that's where it started, and then eventually it just got so big that you had to move to the Centene Center.
Well, we moved from there. I don't know that there was anything in between. We went to Mac. I actually did it on Mac's stage at least once, maybe twice, and then once the Centene was open, we moved it to there.
A lot of people come to this event not just because, hey, my daughter's doing this or my son's doing that or this person's doing that. They kind of make this like a yearly family tradition, don't they?
Absolutely. You know, the holidays are known for traditions, and families all have their own. And I think in this area, this production has become a holiday tradition that maybe grandma may take their little grandchildren, and that'll be the first time they've ever seen a professional type performance, especially a ballet, and they get to experience that. So it's really exciting to see the little ones come in, and then to know maybe this will spark something in them and they'll want to be a part of it.
So what is the Nutcracker all about?
Well, that is a good question, because a lot of people in this area are not raised on classical ballet, and so they don't really know the story. The Nutcracker, as far as a performance, really started in the late 1800s in Russia, and it was performed solely in Russia for many, many years, and nobody really knew about it except if you were Russian. And in 1944, it took a long time to come to the United States. And if you aren't familiar with it and you go to the ballet, you may be very confused. So let me give you a little synopsis.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll try to do it justice. So there's a party, a Christmas party, that is happening at the Stahlbaum's home. Very, very, I would say, wealthy, well-to-do, well-known people in this German community. I guess they're German. And their daughter, Clara, and their son, Fritz, are part of that. They've invited a bunch of people. They're very richly dressed. They dance, they drink, they eat, they open up presents. There are lots of children involved, too, in that scene. And Uncle Drosselmeyer, who is the central character of creating this whole Nutcracker magical world, he is obviously very gifted in magic, and he creates a Nutcracker doll to present to Clara, his niece, at the party. And of course, you know, aunts and uncles always give the best gifts, you know. And it is fought over. Everybody wants this Nutcracker because it's the best gift at the party. And Clara, it's Clara's. And Clara, at the end of the party, goes to bed, and she starts to dream. Or is it a dream? Or is there magic? Who knows? But there is a big battle scene between the soldiers, and the Nutcracker is leading the soldiers, and the Rat King and the mice come out after the party and are scurrying around the Stahlbaum's house, and there's a big fighting scene. And at the end of that, the Nutcracker is victorious, and he becomes alive and turns into a real boy, and takes Clara on this magical journey through the land of the sweets, where different groups, so you have like Russian and you have Chinese and all of these different groups that present her with a gift that represents their, whatever they're dancing, Spanish, and they entertain them in the land of sweets. And then at the end, they go back on the magical swan that we always hope does what it's supposed to do, and take a couple of years ago. So the swan, now I don't know, I had heard rumors, and I don't know yet, that maybe the swan may have been retired or it needed some major upgrades. Right. The swan is lovely, but sometimes the swan, would get off the track in years past, and some of the dads would be crawling under the tracking, trying to get Clara and the Nutcracker prince off the stage. Yeah. And that's what's great about this production. There are moms and dads that feel comfortable being on stage and are theater buffs, and they are in the party scene. There are moms and dads that would not step foot on the stage. That's just not their thing, but they're backstage, they're dressing, they're out front selling gifts that help make money to support this whole production. Their dads backstage making it all work. And I'll tell you what, I've been backstage before. One time I decided I'll just let somebody else do this, and I'll be backstage. I told Kim, it's much harder work, much more demanding, and no one claps.
That's true.
You don't get the applause when you make that really great scene change. So I went back on stage.
How, when this all began, I guess, tell us a little bit about Kim. How did she get the ballet experience, and how was she able to, I guess, pass all this on to so many young people over the years of 25 performances since the early 80s? Tell us a little bit about Kim and how this all kind of got started.
Well, Kim trained in St. Louis. Natalie Levine was her instructor, and I don't know all of Kim's background as far as her training, but she danced a lot up in St. Louis. And semi-professionally and in a lot of productions. And I'm sure, and I know in her own Nutcracker productions. And coming down here, and she moved to Bonne Terre when she was 18, I think. Wow. And started teaching dance lessons right away. And, I think the Nutcracker is one of the most accessible and well-known ballets that could come to an area that may not be familiar with ballet, and learn a little bit about it and embrace it. And so I'm sure, I do know, I've heard her talk about when the first one, like how small it was. I don't know how many people were involved, and that people were playing multiple roles, which we still do. But we have 130 this year, and I know, she didn't have that large of dance classes, to draw from back then. So I know that was much smaller group of people back then. But interestingly enough, I know there are people that were in that first ballet that they're involved some way. Their grandchildren are dancing now, which is just great to see. And typically, I hope it's in the program, you will see all the cast members from years past, which we have 1,500 alumni that have been in the show. And most, you'll see how many years they were in it. Most were in many productions. They keep coming back. Maybe you can't say no to Kim, but
Yeah, it's hard. I know that.
no, but it is a magical experience that brings people back.
And talk about people who don't get credit for what they do. I don't think people realize just how much of herself she puts into this.
Oh, absolutely. There are so many, not just weekend rehearsals, which are all day, Saturday and Sundays, but staying late at night after she's taught a long, evening of dance classes, and then staying later to, do Nutcracker rehearsals. And not just the rehearsals, but just all of the behind the scenes, the thought process, the costuming, the staging, the working with all the fundraising groups, there's a lot behind the scenes.
She'll do everything but podcast interviews.
Yeah.
And obviously now she has her daughter Maggie that helps her quite
Maggie's
a
awesome
bit,
too.
and that's awesome. That takes a little bit off of her plate to be doing this as Maggie is the assistant director. I think she's listed as assistant director. Co-director would probably be more worthy, but there is a lot behind the scenes. But as I was just here seeing that interview with Chris Landrum, it takes a village. Yeah. Every one of the parents, they're asked to, give of their time if their child is in it, to at least dress or be backstage or do something. So I always took, for me, because I'm a theater person, I felt like it was the easy way out, and I'll just be on stage, and then I don't have to be backstage doing the really grunt work.
Absolutely. Do you have a list of I know you got notes in front of you there. Do you have names of cast members?
I do not. Okay. I do not in the community, but you will recognize a lot of people, even if you think you are going and you really don't know anybody.
Yeah, there'll be somebody you know there.
There will be somebody you know there.
What about tickets?
Tickets are available at the Civic Center. You just walk into the front desk, and they are $15 and $13. I think the 13 are the side, and the 15's the middle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but at the Centene, there's really not a bad place to sit. Our actual dates are Thursday, December 12th, Friday, December 13th, and Saturday, December 14th at 7 p.m. And then we have a matinee on the 14th, too, at 1.
And also, too, if you're going to see a specific person, you need to make sure you know which cast they are in.
Absolutely. So, yeah, and that's important to know. We have a cast and a B cast.
And the letters have nothing to do if you're... A student.
Not one is not better than the other. But and so some casts, there are different. They're completely different people. Some people, like myself, we're in every performance. Right. But then on top of that, we have 4 Claras. So every single performance is different and brings on a little nuance, and it's really cute. We practice, and all 4 little Claras will just be walking around doing their parts together, and that's really special for me. I play grandma. I play the grandma. I used to be Mrs. Staubbaum, but I've gotten past. I am now a character actor, and It's fun to, walk into the party, and Grandma always greets Clara and Fritz. And these are my little dancers that I've seen dance since they were really little. And they have this desire and dream to have that lead role. Yeah. And then they finally get it. And they're so mature, and they take on, that is a lot. Our girls this year, I think, are 5th and 6th grade Claras. That is a lot to take on, and a lot is expected of you. And to see them grow and mature as dancers, and not just dancers, but just people on stage. You know, I have a really sweet story I have to share because I think this really shows just how much Nutcracker means to a lot of people. Actually, two, we were talking about one, and then I'll tell a private story. But the Thomas family, I have to call out the Thomas family.
They host a great party.
They play the Stahlbaums, so Doug and Tanya, they and their boys, their 3 boys are in it. And I was talking to her the other day, and she said, the boys don't enjoy it as much as me, although I will say they are having a good time because I've seen them with their buddies. But they give this gift of being on stage every time as her Christmas gift because it's so special to her and she wants that memory. And I was talking to her and I said, you know, there is nothing. Going to see your child on stage is one thing, and it's pretty special. But being in a production with your child takes it to another level. And so I got to do that with my daughter when she was on stage. And then my son played the Nutcracker Prince. And I think the first time he did it, he was pretty young, like 7. And there is a special way, I won't give it away, but there's a special way that the Nutcracker turns real into a real boy. And you have to do this reveal, and you're on your belly in the midst, under some staging, which I won't give away. But you're literally in a dark hole on your belly with little room, and you're listening for music cue for him to make his reveal. And so I'm like, I'm not going to let my son, like, I knew he knew his music, but it was a little scary under there for a 7-year-old to wait in the dark and hope they're going to make it in time.
So you went under there too?
So I went under there with him, and we had a flashlight, and we're just sitting there listening to the beautiful, beautiful music, which I never get tired of. And it's hot, and there's spider cobwebs under there, and yucky. And he turns to me, and he says, this is the most fun I've ever had in my whole life.
Oh, wow.
And that's a memory I'll take with me forever. I always tell people that. And I knew at that moment that he had caught the theater bug.
Right.
And he's got a minor in theater now. So Kim has inspired so many people to catch that bug, the dancing bug or the theater bug or musical bug. So
quick shout out to Ella Spence and Aviana Kurt, 2 youngsters that'll be in there. They are so excited. I made Ella, I was at Spokes this past Friday for dinner, and I made Ella, she was in there, I made her give me a little dance routine of what she'll be performing. She was not very happy about that. She's looking forward to it, but dancing at Spokes was not something she had.
Well, no, but she will do an awesome job. I have tried to train her well, but Kim has trained her well in ballet. She doesn't get to use her tap and jazz that I trained her in this as much. But, just I can't say enough of everything, the kind of people that Kim Anderson is raising up in this world. She her little tagline is, I think I'm not going to do it justice, but we don't just teach dance,
right.
It's the whole child, and teaching about life and what's important and manners and respect. And there's just so much that a child will learn from this experience.
Thank you for fixing Lucy's hair on Monday afternoons when I know that I've put you and Maggie in some awkward situations with no brush or anything.
I curse you a little bit under my breath in a lighthearted kind way because I love you, and I'm like, Lucy, I wouldn't do this for just anyone.
Right. Well, she appreciates it too. And you were talking a while ago about, the young people aspiring to be Clara. As soon as she saw Clara get to ride off the stage in that swan, that's whenever she decided that she wanted to be Claire.
The swan was okay.
Yeah.
Well, and that's a long time for a young kid in Act 2. Clara in the Nutcracker Prince just sit and literally watch the
Right, yeah.
performance.
Yeah.
But they have to be engaged and
They have to react and they can't take a nap or check their
sometimes I've
phone.
seen Clara give when we've had some younger Nutcracker princes a little nudge to like stay awake, bud, don't fall asleep up here.
Catch the 25th performance of the Nutcracker presented by the Young People Performing Arts Theater Thursday, December 12th, Friday, December 13th, and 2 performances on Saturday, December 14th at the Centene Center in Farmington. Tickets available at the Farmington Civic Center box office, $15 and $13 for each performance. Dawn, thank you so much.
Yeah. Can I give a last shout out?
Well, of course
I
you
didn't,
can.
and Kim would be very upset with me.
Okay.
To all of our sponsors.
Ooh, yes.
And our local sponsors and everyone that makes this. She did not send me with the list of all of our sponsors. And it would probably be too many to even list.
That's true.
And our patrons that donate money. We've had past alumni just continue to donate their own personal money to the performance. We bring in a lot of professional dancers, and that's a great cost and all the costuming and all that. So thank you so much to our sponsors.
Very good. Dawn, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.
All right, that's Dawn Fuemmeler again with the Young People Performing Arts Theater 25th edition of the Nutcracker coming this holiday season. Heimberger Construction has the beautiful website, heimbergerconstruction.com. There you can see the beautiful work they've done around the Parkland, or just kind of look around when you're driving around. And Mark, that's all because of the great support they get from Butler Building.
Yeah, Butler Buildings, they are the best metal building system on the market. The only buildings that have a pre-punched roof system and standard 360-degree roof seam for their standing seam roof. And you've got Jennifer Heimberger when you deal with Heimberger Construction. She is one of the most on-the-ball people I have ever met. And she really wants to do the job, and she wants to do it well. She wants to do it right, and she wants to give you the best bang for your buck. So if you're adding on, if you're expanding, if you're relocating, and you need a new building, I totally recommend Heimberger Construction.
HeimbergerConstruction.com, your home of Butler Buildings in the Parkland and in this region. They've done work locally. They've done work nationally. Check them all out. HeimbergerConstruction.com. We love telling you about all the cool stuff that happens around the area, and our main ally to provide that information to you is Discover Farmington. They are all about not only promoting the city of Farmington, Mark, but the entire Farmington region.
Boy, when you think back over the year that was, as we're now into November, and you look at all the different events, and I'm not going to list them all because we don't have time, but all the outdoor concerts, the Blues Brews and barbecues, the cemetery tour, the 100th anniversary of Long Haul, they just really have made Farmington and this entire area a real destination point. If you want to know what's happening in and around this area, Discover Farmington is a fantastic tool to do just that.
And the Christmas season is coming up quickly. And, of course, Discover Farmington will have all the information about all the cool Christmas celebrations that are planned for the Parkland as well. Discover Farmington, more than you ever imagined. Back on the Parkland podcast, and we are right in the midst of the first dress rehearsal for a Midsummer Night's Dream presented by Farmington High School. We have the director of the show, Miss Katie Conaway, joining us. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. And we have the star of the show, a senior at Farmington High School, Emma Anderson. How are you, young lady?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah, good job putting that microphone up there. Excellent. Very, very good. Ms. Conaway, we will start with you.
Okay.
Why did you select this show?
A Midsummer Night's Dream has always been my favorite Shakespeare show. I first got to act in it when I was in the 6th grade. And so just ever since then, I'm like, I love that show. And I think it just does a really good job of challenging the kids, but also being something fun and interesting for them.
Now, with the show, and they're testing the lights, I didn't mess anything up right now. That's why if you're watching on YouTube, you see the lights go off and on. With Shakespeare plays, you can kind of put them in any kind of setting you want. How was that decision made, and what were some of the factors as to where this play was going to take place?
So I saw a really cool production of 12 Angry Men done at Culver Stockton College, where they did black and white makeup and kind of set it like a black and white TV show. And I thought that was really cool. But I didn't want everything black and white because the fairies are so cool, and I wanted them to be really bright and fun. So that's how I landed with the Athenians set in the 50s with black and white, and then the fairies set in the 70s and 60s, late 60s, early 70s, with a lot of color and a lot of pattern.
So it's like the Taco Bell menu with the decades and stuff. Very
Yeah.
good. That's awesome. Emma, tell us a little bit about your role in this production.
So I'm playing Helena in Midsummer Night's Dream. And basically, Midsummer Night's Dream is really complicated. I didn't even understand it when I first picked it up until we went over it. But she's basically in love with Demetrius, but Demetrius likes Hermia, but Hermia doesn't like him. It's crazy. It's a bunch of love stuff happening, and the fairies like to get in and like mess around with it and stuff, so it goes all haywire, and I think it's crazy.
How many productions have you been in at Farmington High School?
About like 3 or 4.
Yeah? And is this the first time you've had a lead role?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. What do you enjoy the most about acting and being on stage?
Being Helena is really interesting because I get to fight with Hermia, and it's really fun.
Yeah?
That's what I like about being on stage. And it's a little nerve-wracking at first, too. But, like, when I get on stage, though, and, like, get into it, I'm like, oh, my gosh, I'm actually having fun again.
Well, good. Excellent. Was this a tough show to cast? Did you have enough people come out?
Yeah, we definitely had enough people come out, and it was super hard to cast. We have so much talent in our guild, and we had to have callbacks because I was like, okay, I don't know where to go with this because they all came out for initial auditions, and they blew me away, and I was like, oh, no. So, we had callbacks, and just kind of by happy accident, someone ended up doing callbacks that wasn't supposed to, and that just kind of changed the game on who was cast where.
Midsummer Night's Dream coming to Truman Auditorium Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. Are the times all the same?
They are. They're all at 7 p.m. so that on Sunday, if you want to go see Little Shop of Horrors at Mineral Area Fine Arts Academy, you can go see that.
Very good. How much are tickets?
Tickets are $8 unless you show a ticket stub from Little Shop of Horrors or an email saying that you're going to go see it. And then tickets are only $4.
An email saying you're going to go see it?
Yes, yeah.
Really?
So, yeah,
okay.
Proof of purchase from MAFA will get you half off your ticket at Farmington show.
Wow, that's really cool. And we talked to Jason Carr last week on the show, and he talked about how all the theater departments are working together really well right now.
Oh, yeah. We're all trying really hard to support each other, go see each other's shows, and, promote each other because it's so important that we have a strong arts community in this area, and we have so much talent in this area, and it just makes sense to work together and promote everyone's stuff rather than try to compete.
Emma, the cast is really strong. You guys are really tight. You have a lot of fun. What's it like in between? When you're on stage, kind of in between things during rehearsal. Do you guys keep it light? Do you do a lot of funny stuff? Play jokes on each other, stuff like that?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun, just kind of chilling in the wings. But also, I kind of try to focus all my energy on making sure that I do my best, and I hope everyone else is trying to do so as well. But most of the time it's it's Miss Conaway or someone else saying "Be quiet in the wings." But it's true though. You can hear everything.
Right. Yeah. What else keeps you busy at Farmington High School? What else are you involved in?
I'm in choir. I've been in choir for all of high school, Nightingales 2 years, and then I tried out for a cappella and Choraleers and got into both my junior year.
And any other activities, any other clubs, things like that? That's probably enough to keep you busy, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. And then just school work.
Right. Got to stay off the ICU list, as they say at Farmington High School. What are your plans after graduation? What do you want to do with your life?
That's a good question. I hope to go and do like law things, so like be a paralegal, and I'm hoping to get a job like in a law firm that's down here somewhere, but I might go to Mac for 2 years to get like some electives and then get my associates and then try to make it into law.
Wow. Well,
hopefully.
Yeah. Best of luck to you. We need good people in law. There's a lot of people breaking laws, and people need to be held accountable for that. So that's great. Emma's a pretty good apple. You've got some good kids in this cast right now, don't you?
Oh yes, they're the best kids. They work hard to keep up with schoolwork. They're in so many activities and so many things. Like, there's quite a few members of our cast right now who are also working on Nutcracker over at Young People Performing Arts Center. I think I said that right.
Yes, you did.
But
good job.
They're working over there and then coming over here, like literally 10 minutes between rehearsals. So they're insane.
They're keeping busy.
Oh,
But
yes.
it is a busy time of year. So we wrap this show up. What's next for the Farmington Theater Department?
Well, next on December 2nd, so the week after Thanksgiving break, we have our auditions for the spring musical, The Addams Family.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very good. So there's probably going to be a lot of aspiring Wednesday Addamses out there, I would think, with their
yes.
popularity.
Oh, yes.
Very cool. So they get the tryouts for that, and then when roughly will that production be?
It'll be sometime in March, close to spring break,
Okay.
like we did Seven Brides for Seven Brothers.
So it'll work out, and then we have the break after
Yes,
the
because
play.
that works out great
Yeah.
for the entire production team.
Yes, I agree. Maybe that's when we'll interview Mrs. Lowry.
Yes.
On the podcast. That'll have to be a really long one, though, because I don't think I've ever interviewed her like on YouTube or anything. So it's going to be really, really, really long and very interesting, but
Yeah.
definitely something to check out.
Yeah.
Cool. Again, so check out A Midsummer Night's Dream Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, 7 o'clock each night, right here at Truman Auditorium. Thank you so much for letting us come in here like right as your most stressful, busy time of this whole show run. That's awesome. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you for coming.
All right. And Emma, thanks for talking to us. Best of luck. I'm sorry, break a leg. That's what you're supposed to say in the world of theater. And we appreciate you talking to us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
All right, there you go. Emma Anderson, Miss Katie Conaway joining us here. Farmington High School, A Midsummer Night's Dream. They're our guests right now on the Parkland Podcast. We like listening to music. Heck, we got paid to listen to music sometimes in between voice tracks and other kinds of things. Every once in a while, we got to actually enjoy the music, right?
Oh, we love the music. It's I said when I got into country music radio, I was either going to learn to love it or go crazy. I'm pretty sure I did both. But now that I'm done with country radio, I'm back into my rock and roll roots.
Yeah. Do you have a song of the day to tell us about?
Yeah, we kind of teased this with Manford Mann, the Manford Mann Band. They're a great English group from back in the 60s and 70s. Especially, they had a ton of great songs, but they had this really good connection with Bruce Springsteen. Bruce's only number one hit, as we teased about, was Blinded by the Light. But they also, my song that I listened to on the way over here today, Spirits in the Night. All right. Great guitar work in that song.
Absolutely. That solo's amazing.
And another song that they did that was a Bruce Springsteen song, and I didn't originally realize this was a Bruce song, was I Came for You, I Came for You.
That was Springsteen? I didn't know that
either. That was a Bruce Springsteen song, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
But anyway, I'm going to stick with Spirit in the Night as my song and my album, because my brother is a big fan of Neil Young. We're going to go Neil Young and Crazy Horse with Live Rust. And if there's a song from Neil Young that you really like, odds are it is on this album, whether it's After the Gold Rush, The Needle and the Damage Done, Cortez the Killer, Cinnamon Girl, Like a Hurricane. Like a Hurricane has some of the live version has some of the best guitar work you will ever hear. do yourself a favor, pick up a copy of Live Rust on CD or download it, whatever you do these days, and check it out. You won't be disappointed.
Get that vinyl.
Get the vinyl.
For song, I'm going to go with a tune from the 1997 album, The Color and the Shape, from the Foo Fighters. My Hero, one of the top tracks from that song and one of the top alternative tracks of that year. Foo Fighters, of course, formed by Dave Grohl, drummer of Nirvana, after the death of Kurt Cobain. And Foo Fighters still rocking and rolling today. This was my favorite era, though, of the Foo Fighters, was the Color and the Shape album. And My Hero, a fantastic song. Grohl said the song is about heroes that are ordinary people. And he added that he looks up to everyday people more than he looks up to celebrities. So,
went from being the drummer for Nirvana to the guitar player for Foo Fighters.
I know, it's crazy. They look just alike. It's weird stuff. So My Hero, the tune from Foo Fighters this week. And then for album, I got a little Historia della from Musica Rock from Joe Cocker. And this one has the great cover of the Beatles song with a little help from my friends. Feeling all right. Another Beatles cover. She Came In Through the Bathroom Window, which I love. And then another cover, The Letter. What a great song.
She wrote me a letter.
And then, of course, Something, the cover of the Beatles song, again there, too. I'm assuming that's what it is.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
And I'm unfamiliar with Woman to Woman.
It's been a long time since I've listened to these albums, so I couldn't tell you on that one. I just know there's no better voice in music than Joe Cocker, and the way he moves his hands. She came into the bathroom window.
Always makes me want to cough really hard when I sing.
He's hacking up a Chevrolet. Yeah.
My goodness. Somebody, and I can't remember who it was, they were new to the area. They did not know Mike Reeves, and they did a game with Mike. And afterwards, they're like, holy cow, I'm sitting next to Joe Cocker here. What's going on? And so maybe next time I see Reeves, I'll have him do like some kind of a Joe Cocker seizure impersonation and see how that looks.
While he's doing his weather forecast.
Yeah. Because you know what? We're almost getting to the season where we're probably going to need to have Mike come on and give us some kind of weather update.
You got some explaining to do, Mike.
Yeah. Are we going to be off school on such and such day? That's the information that we're going to need to figure out. Who do we have coming up on the next show? We don't really know, do we?
Yeah, it's going to be a potpourri because we're going to be set up at the Help the Hungry Bake Sale, and whoever comes by, you might be on the podcast.
Ooh, so there another reason to go to the Help the Hungry Bake Sale coming up on Saturday in Farmington. Until then, have a great week. Please like, please subscribe, please download, do all those things. If you've made it this far in the podcast, you're pretty cool. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.